Welcome to the live Palace Focus, as always on a Tuesday night here with you, joined by T and Stan, and we got Patrick. Patrick thought, you know what, let me come over today as well to talk about the game against Man City, and also talk about the game on Sunday against Everton. We're going to be talking about whether that's our biggest game of the season. As always, we want to hear from you, so send in your comments. If you're watching on replay, make sure to hit the like button and let us know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with us. Share your thoughts with us. So let's start off with the City game. I mean, you can say what a performance. You can say we got lucky. You can say maybe we got a bit unlucky because of the chances that we missed going forward. It's a bit all over the place if you look at it like that. But overall, how I see how the game went is, we got lucky. We got lucky to a certain extent, but you need a bit of luck. It wasn't bad luck. I thought the performance was solid. I thought we've done a decent enough job defensively. Going forward, we created a few chances as well. And we could have maybe done a bit better with them chances. But overall, I was satisfied leaving Selhurst Park because we kept a clean sheet against one of the better sides in Europe. Forget about the Premier League. And that's twice now. So I was happy with it. I'll open up with you guys. What do you guys make of the game?
I blame the pitch. Difficult pitch, difficult ground.
difficult. I'll be honest. When Pep said that, I was a bit hurt because I really respect him, and he's not the type of guy to make comments like that.
What he doesn't realise is that Selhurst Park has a Deso Grassmaster pitch, which is exactly the same as Wembley Stadium, the Etihad, and many footballing arenas around the world. So just take it that you played a good game. They were good. City always going to be good, and we defended resolutely. I think they showed it a few times on the commentary how compact we were, how well set up we were, etc., etc. So yeah, look, well done. You need a bit of luck playing them. Of course, you need luck playing the top teams, and we're not going to play them off the park. Brilliant.
Exactly. So, Team Red, do we agree?
Because right now we're red. 100%, man. I think it's just like what you said. It's a game of luck and unluck. You know what I'm saying? I think both squads saw that throughout the match, whether it be certain chances or opportunities that were taken. It was a back and forth with those things. So I don't think that we were deserving of anything other than what we got from this, to be honest with you. So I don't think you can argue with the outcome of this match. But one thing I can say is, damn it, we a hard team to beat. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we're a hard team for different reasons. Yeah. Go on, Patrick.
We are now. I mean, I gotta give credit to Vieira. He talked about how we set up defensively all week to briefly break up, the play for Man City. Went from a 4-5-1 at times to 4-4-2. Defensively, very, very solid in the back. Great saves by Guaita. Gallagher was a machine. I love the fact that, I know you're going to make fun of me, D, but Football Manager, have that part where you can trigger the press? That little function you can have on that thing? Every time that Laporte had the ball,
everyone.
Exactly. That was that Gallagher. Gallagher triggered the press, just like it did in the first game. And you don't even realize that kind of stuff until you listen to the post-match stuff. But that's a great, because it really, really worked, man. And Gallagher, man, I was talking to D before. He ran 12.5 kilometers yesterday. Ridiculous about running. The guy said after the game he couldn't feel his legs. I mean, total credit to Palace, man. Really great performance. I don't really care about the fact that it may have been a scoreless game. As a 0-0. They don't get much better than that. And it was a really great performance by the team yesterday.
Exactly. And then talking about Football Manager, Patrick, I'm going to call you out publicly. Stop running away from me. It's been 2-3 weeks now.
He's ducking the fade.
I have no fear. Listen, I've taken the current squad right now into Europe. Right now, Palace is 4th place and in the FA Cup final under my management. You don't want none of this right now, D. You don't want none of this.
I'm fifth. Face me. But yeah,
we'll
do
it.
Okay, but I had to mention it because you haven't replied back to me yet about my manager, so I thought I mentioned.
I've been busy. I'm a busy man. I'm playing golf and stuff like that.
As well.
Get you running, man.
Yeah, still running. Look, you're gonna be tired like Conor Gallagher if you continue this behavior right now, running away from me. Patrick says 9 losses and it's March the 15th. That's terrific. 100% when you put everything into context. Ronnie says they all worked hard for that result. And I just want to stop there because I 100% agree that we worked hard for that result. But I made an analogy about the process. I see it as a chicken cooking, and I feel like right now the chicken is still cooking. It's getting along well. It's still not at the stage where it's finished. But should we expect these type of performances from here onwards? Is this the new normality that we should expect from Palace, considering how well we played against City? Not only is City, some of the performance against top sides. Do you think that we should do this from here onwards more regularly against top sides and have no fear?
First of all, how do you like your chicken?
Don't go there.
Do you just like it burnt and just? How long is this said chicken gonna cook, man?
Well cooked.
We're starting to get hungry. Is all I'm saying. No, but I agree.
I like my chicken juicy, and I feel like we're reaching that area, but it's still cooking.
Juicy.
It was raw before, but it's still cooking.
We must be slow cooking said chicken. Because of the fact that you said that we're going to be 2022, 23 champions. Is that when the chicken's going to be done?
Maybe. I don't want to give spoiler alerts. Maybe. Jesus, I don't know. It depends on the oven.
Christ.
Depends on the oven. It's the new oven.
We are definitely not going to solve world hunger with that chicken. No, I think it is that process. Like you said, it's starting to, we're starting to really see the product of all this hard work, everything that's gone in to this process. You know, we're starting to get better results, and a lot of those some of them are still ties, but we're seeing a lot more wins in that winning column, and it's coming to a point where we're seeing what he's wanting from the squad, but at the same time also being able to see what we can build on and develop, especially too. So I mean, I think the project is far ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it is, and it's going very well. But of course, we had hiccups on the way. Let's not forget about that. We had hiccups, but that was normal as well. We had, 6 games without a win. We had that period, but it's all expected. But right now, it's good. I'm liking what's happening right now. We got a super chat from Joe. Joe, thank you very much for that. He says, put this towards the T Wembley. If we play, turn up against Everton.
Save it for the final. Save it for the final. We're going final.
We would have gave it to Stan as well, but we can't split with Stan because he already had a holiday. So
yeah,
we have to make T enjoy himself as well. Stan
that bought a Tesla. He done had the holiday. He don't need no money.
Exactly. He doesn't need his GoFundMe right now.
Bought new golf clubs. Yeah, he's good.
He's good. He's good.
I'll go through some more comments as well. Jason says Mitchell doesn't get enough credit. He worked his socks off. He's got to be one of the best left backs in the Premier League. Sorry about that.
I think statistically he is the best, isn't he?
I mean, the fact that he just doesn't get dribbled past, he has to be. Like, right. He's winning all his ground duels. He's not getting dribbled past. Like,
I'm just going to go on the Premier League app and have a look who is statistically the best left.
Yeah, so whilst we look at that, let's move on to the lineup. Unchanged. We don't come on the show and say this often. We don't say it's an unchanged lineup. We always say maybe a midfielder change or someone out wide is different. But this game was unchanged from the Wolves game. And it makes sense in theory, but we haven't really operated like that this season under Vieira. Vieira likes changes. So my question is this Vieira's favoured 11, especially the front three? Maybe the midfielder can change, but the front three. Do we think that Vieira likes this 11 and we finally found the 11 that we've been crying for a very long time, saying that maybe don't change it every game? Is this it?
For me, I would say that the front three is probably his most favorite. But again, and we have to always think about the opponent. I think yesterday versus Man City, Mateta is probably the more mobile as far as, like, look at yesterday without the 7 or 8 step overs he did going into the box yesterday. Something from Benteke or Édouard. Maybe Édouard can do that. Probably Édouard could do it. But I think that the front three is definitely the one that you want to go with right now. Mateta scoring goals, Will scoring goals, he's setting up goals. The midfield is the only thing I would question, honestly. I got to believe that he'd prefer to have Mac or Hughes. Both weren't available yesterday. But Schlupp's done a good job. I mean, Schlupp was involved yesterday in breaking up play. He wasn't involved going forward like he was against Wolves, but he played well enough in there. Gallagher is Gallagher. You can't question him. And Kouyate's been absolutely brilliant since AFCON.
He was
good before.
Class yesterday.
He's brilliant yesterday.
Yeah,
and our back four. And our back four, to me, is our back four, unless he wants to put the experience of Ward back in there. I honestly think he'd put Ward back in it if he could for the experience. But, You
I don't
can't
think
put
he
down
will.
what
I
Klein's
don't
done.
think he will because
I don't think
Godfrey
he
will
will.
run him into the ground, mate.
Listen, I'm just saying that I've seen. Listen, I trust Vieira. I'm just saying that based on what's happened before, he's been picking when they're both healthy. He's been picking Ward over Klein. Would he go back to it? I'm not saying he will. I'm saying I think he would for the experience. I wouldn't do it. So right now, I think it's probably our best 11. Maybe again, Schlupp being the one change he might want to maybe put
I
in
think he's
either
going to
Mac or
play
Hughes.
Butland. I've got a feeling Butland's going to play in goal.
I think Butland is the one person that we should expect to see. To be honest with you,
We're gonna talk about Everton. Stop giving spoilers.
I'm sorry.
Stop
I
giving
digress.
spoilers.
I
Show it in like
digress.
5 minutes time.
I'm just letting you know that Tyrick Mitchell for tackles is number 2.
He got to be close. Yeah,
For the whole
he's got to be
season.
close to the top.
It's not
Who's
normal.
number 1 though? Who's number 1?
Christian Norgard is 1 ahead.
Who?
Brentford, yeah,
Brentford, the dude from Norgard.
Right.
Norgard, dude from Brentford. I mean,
Mitchell's development is not normal. See, I don't know about you, but for me, as Patrick said, I think the front three, this is what Vieira likes. I think the defense, I don't agree with Patrick in terms of maybe Wardy for Klein. I don't think he'll do that. At this point, I think it would be very dumb of him to do that because I think Klein's been a better player going forward and defensively.
Absolutely.
So I just feel like the back four is settled. I think the front three is settled. But do you think, are we like one player away from the best 11? Do you share the same view as Patrick, or does it change game by game for you still?
I still think for Vieira it changes game by game, and I think similar to what Patrick was saying, had he had the option of putting Maka out there, we probably wouldn't have seen Schlupp. You know what I mean? So I think there are certain aspects, certain areas where you can still see change from him. But I think he does. I think he's noticing who can do both now. Like for instance, I think he understands now. Michael Olise can do both, and there's not a need for him to bring him off the bench because he feels like, oh, this isn't the game for him. You know what I mean? I think he knows he can do both now. So it's not a question of, hey, let me throw Jordan Ayew out there because he's going to track back. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the question anymore.
You know what though? Yesterday when he made the changes, I was like, you know what? You're smart. Rest key players. Give for Saturday.
That was actually the exact the subs were the exact same starting lineup outside of Ward that started against Man City the first time.
Yeah, but like he brought French Eddie on.
Yep.
He did great. He was great. Ayew came on, was great. You know.
Yep.
I just, like I said, I think he's got to play his strongest team going forward. This is obviously we'll talk about it, but biggest game of the season. He's got to play the strongest team available.
Yeah. So is that the strongest team in your opinion?
I think you got to take Schlupp out. But you know what? Schlupp has turned up the past few weeks. He turned up against Wolves. He caused them problems. He was playing City yesterday. He was effective, wasn't he? He didn't have a shocker. So you just don't know. Like you say, I think I'll be happy if he puts that team out. I'm happy. Put it that way.
Personally, I feel like Schlupp had a great game against Wolves. In this game, he was less effective. Not because of him, but due to how Man City set up and how much of the ball that we had. He couldn't really pick up the ball like he did against Wolves and run at the defense. He didn't have them opportunities. So I feel like with Schlupp, it depends on the type of game. There are certain games that are better suited to him. If teams are going to maybe like sit back, or if there's going to be spaces out wide that Schlupp can run into, then I think Schlupp plays in them games. But when you're defending constantly, I'm not too sure if he's a guy. I don't think he had a bad game yesterday, but he wasn't as involved as against Wolves.
Yeah, compared to the rest of the guys, compared to the rest of the squad, he didn't have as good of a match, I'd say. But it wasn't a bad match at all.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't Wolves. It wasn't what we saw from Wolves, but it's of course Wolves and Man City are different quality. So it's a bit harsh even me saying that because you're asking an awful lot from Jeffrey Schlupp when we don't even have the ball as much. But I'll read through some comments. Come Natural says we are building from the back, and right now our defense has the potential to be one of the best in the Premier League. I think both centre apart from right back Nathaniel Klein, without being too harsh on him, we will need a new right back. But we have one of the better defense. I think we do, and it's one of the most underrated defenses because I have not seen many people talk about our defense so far this season. Even Guéhi, up until like recently, they're talking about him, but he's been fantastic all season long. Anton says,
excellent.
This 11 is nice and it works. Oliver says, if you play like we did yesterday, we have a Wembley day out. If we play like we did against Stoke, we are going out. Louis says, I feel like this is his best 11. He has an obsession with Schlupp. Obviously, he sees something we don't, due to the fan base that always hating on him. Neil says, I don't think Édouard is good on the wing. Didn't understand putting Zaha up top when Eddie came on. Both out of position for me. How you doing? Tim as well. So let's talk about the subs. We mentioned there. Stan, you said that you was happy about it. But Vieira actually, we haven't seen Édouard for a very long time. He's finally here. He's appeared onto the scene. I thought he had a decent sub appearance. Nothing too great, nothing bad.
You see some of his touches though. Excellent.
Yeah, he did some nice things with the ball.
So Neil says he doesn't think Édouard is good on the wing. I disagree because I feel like Édouard's best performances have come on the wing for us. But saying that, I feel like Édouard is better suited up front. I think even Vieira spoke about it, that Édouard is a number 9. So what do you think about the Édouard situation? Are we expecting him to play more games now? Was this just a one-off? I thought he had a solid game yesterday, but other than that, he hasn't really had that many opportunities, has he?
Not really, but I think they'll come. You know, I mean, I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, they want to see more of him." Yeah, we do, but I think the opportunities will come for him. Maybe he'll get on against Everton. Maybe he'll get a start against Everton. You don't know, like, what he's thinking. I'm with Patrick on this one, where I trust Vieira to put the best team out and win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, with Édouard, you know, better on the wing, but people seem to forget he's had his best games on the wing. The game against Man City played really well. It was Wolf up top and him on the wing. So he scored a lot. He scored a couple of goals from playing on the wing or up top with Mateta. I don't think we know where he plays best. I understand his history is that he's a really good striker up front but I think he's played better off wing or in a 2 up front by himself. I haven't seen him play. Say again.
Much better.
All right, in a 2, right. He's not gonna. He hasn't shone at all this season when he's up front by himself. Will's done better up front, honestly, by himself than Édouard has this season. So if you want to see Édouard play, either he plays on the wing or he go to a 4-4-2. Right now, we play a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. We don't play a 4-4-2. We only do it when we're behind by a goal. So,
well, has he had the opportunities up front for us to say that he can't do it? Has he had the opportunities? Has he had the service? Because when he has played up front, I just remember this. I was talking about, you know, I remember the times when he's playing up front, if he gets a service, he will score them goals. I just don't feel like he had a service when he was up front. So it's hard to judge him up front because I think he's a great finisher. But
so hold on a second.
When he does play up front, he doesn't get the ball as much.
That's 2 different things. You just said, does he get the opportunities or does he get the service? That's not the same thing. Opportunities means he starts. Services are you getting crosses in, balls played to him.
When he does start up front, does he get the service as well?
Or does he mean the opportunities in the form of getting the ball via the service to score?
Does Mateta get service?
Let me break it down. So the opportunity in terms of him playing up front, does he get enough of them chances? I don't think he does. And when he does play up front, has he had the service to be as effective as he's out wide? Out wide, he does get the ball a bit more. But if you remember, I remember the Brighton game? Édouard hasn't played for a long time, and we've changed as a team. It's been quite a while, you know.
Last time he started was against Brentford, by the way. They're 0-0.
Yep, Brentford 0-0.
So he wasn't great, by the way.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
But then he was great in that game. In terms of
he also started with IU on the right.
Did he get a certain? No. But that's you mentioned Brentford there, Stan, and he wasn't great. But first of all, who was great going forward in that game?
No one. Mateta, when he came on, was brilliant. Really good.
He wasn't even in the box. He had to get out of the box to get involved because he wasn't getting the service, which is my point.
Right.
If he does get the service, then surely he puts out more goals. But the thing is, does he get the service when he plays up front?
One of the things I'm looking at here, man, is when he's had his opportunity to play at center forward and let's say start.
Right.
He doesn't get the opportunity to play with Wilf and Elise.
That's a
when he started up top against Brentford, it was with IU and Wilf.
Right.
When he started up top against Brighton, it was with Elise and Eze.
Wait. He started against Liverpool. He was on the right. It was
but
him,
Mateta,
and Elise, right?
So
he also scored in that game, though. But
he also scored that game. So
Right,
my thing is, can we truly judge him? Okay, and then when he started against Tottenham, when we lost 3-0, he started up top with Zaha and Ayew.
Right.
And that was the game that Wolf got the red too. But so it's a matter of how would Edouard look with the opportunity to play with Elise and Zaha up top if he's playing?
That's what I'm saying. Does he get enough to opportunity? That's what I'm saying. We're talking about how he will look because he hasn't had the chances. But then again, I didn't want to go into this game thinking about why is Edouard not starting because JP has been great and our front three has been picking together. But
exactly right.
It's just interesting what Vieira said, and he's still playing him out wide. He sees him as a number 9, but he just doesn't play him there. So next season, we'll see. We'll see when we get new players in and some players depart as well. We'll see what happens with Edouard because maybe, Benteke might not be there. He might get more opportunity, JP, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But Henry says...
go ahead.
Henry said, do you guys think we'll see Eze versus Everton and moving forward, will he get game time? Just quickly about Everton. We're going to talk about Everton, but let's finish with the City chat. Quickly about Eze. I don't think he's going to get many opportunities this season. And plus, there's not that much left of the season. Personally, I wouldn't want him to start an Everton game because they're going to be physical. They're going to be up for it. I don't think it's the appropriate game. Eze is going to get a chance next season. I don't think there's anything to be worried about with Eze.
I think you'll see maybe the last 5 games, he will he'll get some chances, maybe some starts, etc.
Maybe, that's a shot.
I just think like now we're sort of like in the business end of the season a little bit, like still in the cup, fighting for league position as well. Like we've got an opportunity now to really kick on a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to win every game. We're not going to get points for every game, but if we can get sort of 6 or 7 more points before the end of the season, then that's going to push us up the table nice or keep us in in a nice position. So after that, I think you'll see what's it called? You might see something a little bit different. Also, if we progress in the cup, you might also see that he not rests some players, but players don't get injured, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like if we do make a cup final, he might preserve Zaha a little bit, etc., etc.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think it depends on where we're at with the league. Just knowing Vieira, it'll be hard. Maybe if you cup final, I think that'd be a shot.
What I would say about Vieira, and he said this, do you remember when we played Watford in the League Cup and they beat us 1-0?
Yeah, I was there.
And they said, "Oh, you're going to play a weakened team because the priority is on the league." He went, "No, you always play your best team. You never play a weakened team." And that's not something that we've seen at Palace for a long time, because a lot of the time it was weakened teams and, stay up at all costs, right? So,
yeah, 100%. We diverted quite a bit. We talked about lots of players, but one player that I wanted to talk about in particular was Vicente. Because Stan, you sent a stat to our group chat when we did speak about different stuff, and the stat was from Playmaker Stats, and the stat is that since his debut in 2018, he's kept the same amount of clean sheets as Jordan Pickford and Pope, which is 33. He's one behind David De Gea and Kasper Schmeichel, and 2 away from Lloris.
Crazy.
He kept 2 against City so far this season. It's what a performance. Apart from that one mistake that could have potentially cost us, he didn't look out of place. And, all that chat about whether Jack Bartlett is better or Vicente is better, I think he put that to bed in this game when he was
Isn't he like one of only 2 goalkeepers to have got 2 clean sheets on Pep's Man City team in one season?
Yeah, Man United.
The only other one is De Gea.
Man United did it.
De Gea,
yeah, man, exactly.
So it would have been De Gea. So
ridiculous. It's a ridiculous stat. Listen, man, people want to put him down, and I have not been guilty of that. But there also been some games that when Dean I talk about the play ratings, I always say make the saves you have to make. He made 2 ridiculous saves yesterday. The one in De Bruyne was ridiculous. I don't know how he makes that save.
And then the other one, the
Mahrez save offside was he had to get off your goalkeeper stay. He had to get off the ground, get to his feet, and then make a save. That was a ridiculous save. I mean, he's been really good this season, man. He's got 8 clean sheets. I think that's 8th in the league this year. We underrate him. I mean, we have Butland, which is a good thing. Is when you have Hennessy as your backup and he comes in, the comparison's ridiculous. But at least Butland's giving him a run for his money. And I got to give Dean Kiley credit because I think Vicente's actually getting better. I really do. He's getting better, and with age. I know we worry about his age, but he's getting better, man. I love what he's playing this.
I do. He's getting better, but
I understand.
it's not. I mean, all right, cool. He doesn't. Not only his age, he's out of contract soon. So
I think he's got another year, right? Not this year, though. It's next season.
Another year.
in next summer. But then
Yeah.
you know how it works. If he's not going this summer, then if he doesn't sign a contract up
He'll
until
go pre-contract.
January, you've got
Yeah,
the
Right.
Contract like how we got him.
So
Yep.
what do you guys think should happen with Vicente? He's not the youngest goalkeeper, but do you go and splash money just like Cheku Kouyaté, who had a great game as well? Do you go and pay these older players the money that you think that they deserve, or do you have a limit on that?
I think to be fair to him, he came to us on a free. Give him the choice to go wherever he wants at the end of his career. Just let him go back to. If he wants to go back to Spain, let him go back. I don't think you should try and force him to sign a contract. Let him decide what he wants to do. If he wants to leave as on a free, we got him on a free. That's the only thing fair to do for me. Let him go back to Spain if he wants to. You know, where he came from, Getafe. Was it Getafe he came from?
Yep.
Yeah, Getafe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let him, if he wants to go back there, his family's from there. I mean, listen, the guy's been a great servant for us. He hasn't been here like Jules has been, but he's been a great servant for us, man. Let him have a choice at the end of his career. He's been great.
And if you think like if we'd have had all those grim seasons with Wayne Hennessy in goal, you know, especially the past 2 years when he did play sometimes, but Guaita was number one, it would have been a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? Like it would.
I agree.
I'm very much of the same vein as D when he made that comment. I wish we could have had him sooner. You know what I mean? That type of thing. You know, if we could have got him late 20s, you know, that'd have been fantastic.
Under Hudson for what? To do what? Sit behind Wayne Hennessy?
I was about sooner under Hudson. I was talking about
Hey,
sooner.
you know what?
Like 10
It could have
years
been.
ago.
I mean, it could have been. It could have been.
Pulis.
We could talk sooner, as in before Roy even showed up, possibly. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
I wish we got him young. That's my point.
So under Alan Pardew and then play Alex McCarthy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, right?
Why is this even a debate? I'm just saying, I wish we got him at 26, not 36.
I know. I'm just messing.
The
I'm
devil's
messing.
I
advocate.
don't know who was there.
What D's trying to say now is he wishes he was 26.
Yeah.
right now.
Thank you, Stan. That's his point, and I understand
Age
that. I
wasn't
get
the
it.
issue right now.
I understand that part.
And the thing about it though is I agree with Patrick's point of, hey, you know, let that man choose where he wants to go. You know, rather than trying to cash in on
He
what
deserves
would
it. That's the
what
least
would
he
end
could
up
do.
being a nominal fee for a mid-30s goalkeeper.
Exactly, T.
But at the same time, if we're going to take that stance, we're going to have that outlook, then guys like Dougie have to be making sure that he's doing his due diligence with the next step and knowing what we're going to do and what we're going to look for, because we're going to have
Dean Henderson.
I hear that. But if we're going to get Dean Henderson, it's probably going to have to be this summer.
You know, Dean Henderson's on 120 grand a week. You know that, right?
I don't think
I know.
Dean Henderson, because I don't think if we let Vicente play out his contract next year, I don't think Dean Henderson will be there for us in 2 summers from now.
Dude,
Good
Dean
point.
Henderson can take his 120 grand a week and he can go to another club. There's plenty of goalkeepers out there in Europe that are better and have
Plenty?
played more.
Oh, so you don't want what about Eddie Nketiah coming with his 150K?
No,
Thank you. Don't want me either.
Don't want him.
Thank you, T.
Don't want him, mate.
150.
That's wild.
That's not.
It is.
Wild.
That's not.
It is
That's
crazy.
not how. That's not how Palace roll these days. We don't pay those sorts of wages. They can take your money and stick it
You're
where
right.
it's in, don't try.
That's
You're right.
actually, Stan, that's a great point, because that's going to be the hardest part about trying to get players from these big six, these top 6 clubs, is that they're overpaying these guys that are either hardly playing or not playing at all for them. And when it's time for them to go somewhere else, it's like, yo, like, we'll take you, but
Yeah.
you
And Nketiah's not
wages
even
are outrageous.
he's not even on big money at Arsenal. I don't know where he's going and getting all these, these wage demands to leave there. You've got Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek on well over 100 grand a week each at Chelsea. Mate, forget these guys. Trust me.
RLC's make 150 racks.
I have an idea. Get Pickford when Everton get relegated.
Nah, I don't like, bro.
I don't
Hey, I'm being honest. I just like
Hold on,
that.
if there's nobody-
I don't know about dude.
He's an excellent goalkeeper. He is an excellent goalkeeper.
It's England's number 1. Come on, man. What
He's
you
an
guys? Are you
excellent
joking, D?
goalkeeper.
What the,
But just
England's
about
number
goalkeepers,
1.
the last thing, what you lot think the conversation was between Vicente Guaita and Pep? So there was a theory out there saying that Pep was telling off Vicente or something like that. But apparently Pep came out after the game and he did say that he just congratulated him and that was it. Like nothing bad. So
I think
so,
Pep
yeah,
is just
there was another
demonstrative. He's just
conversation
demonstrative when he speaks.
Very
it
much
looks
so.
that way.
Exactly.
See, he did the same thing to Nathan Redmond, and if you watch
you think like
you watch that video back, Redmond never seemed like he was mad. He didn't react at all. Like he couldn't have said anything bad to him. You know what I'm saying? Like a person will react to somebody assailing them in their face. And Redmond was just like this, talking and it was cool.
Right.
And then he celebrated, and Pep immediately celebrated with his players. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe he's just that weird demonstrative dude that if you can't read what his lips are saying, you don't know what's going on.
Exactly. And plus, you're speaking Spanish, so if you don't know Spanish,
that too.
You don't know what's going on as well.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
Jay asks, we're going to go into Everton anyway, but does Everton's playing on Thursday help us? I think so, yes. 100%.
100%. 100%.
No Butland for Sunday, says Patrick. Interesting.
I didn't say that. Oh, the other Patrick. Sorry.
There's so many other Patricks. Vieira didn't say that as well. I don't
hey,
think.
I mean, he's been solid. He's been solid for me so far, man. I don't think there's no reason not to play him.
Exactly. So we got Nick. We're not having any guests today. We have to finish it as quickly as possible as well. Neil, Scott Banks, the Palace Ward Prowse. Yeah, Louis said
he got a wand.
He says, I actually like Sam Johnston, solid. So the rumor is if Dean Henderson,
who mentioned him, by the way?
Sam Johnston. And honestly, I feel like he go with Man United just for the money because of the amount of money.
Right. But Dean Henderson's there. Like, if Sam Johnston,
but he's going to leave. That's a rumors. He's going to leave. If he leaves, then Sam Johnston is a replacement.
Isn't that where Sam Johnson used to be? Is it with Man United?
Yeah, he came from United.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Exactly.
So did Henderson.
Another player that I want to talk about. A player that's actually captained the side a few times now, and that is Marc Guéhi.
Undefeated captain.
Look, we talked about Marc Guéhi being a captain of Palace in the future. But me personally, I don't know about you guys. When I said future, I was thinking about maybe like 3-4 years or when he reaches 24, 25. But the future's happened, and it took a month or two since we've had them conversations. And, you know, for him to be a captain, first of all, for him to be a captain, he's captain in Wilf, he's captain in Vicente Guaita. He's one of the youngest players in the squad. You need respect. Shows that the players have respect for him. And also, he needs to be a very good player, which he is. But for me, guys, I don't know about you. Marc Guéhi is not the future Palace captain. He's 100% going to be announced as the Palace captain next season. I think it's done.
So, yeah.
I think it's set.
I think so.
But yesterday, what a performance from him as well. And he's a leader out there. He's a leader on and off the pitch. You can just see the conversation that he's having. It suits him. This role suits him. He was built for this. He done this for England under 21s. And yesterday, once again, a great performance. And sooner rather than later, it's not even a debate. He needs to be in the England first team. He needs to.
If you look at his personality as well, carries himself very well, very well spoken, eloquent. And he seems to be loving it at Palace. He seems to want to be there. I don't see why he wouldn't be the captain next season, to be honest with you. I mean, Luca's probably not going to be there. I think he's going to get moved on. Maka, 6 games a season, you'll probably get out of him. I think he'll still be there, but do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
D, I have a question. At the games, is he very demonstrative, Guéhi? Because you can't really tell on TV. Does he talk a lot? Does he point a lot? I can't really tell on the field. He's a leader, you could tell, but does he actually is he like Damo used to be, talked a lot, or Tompkins talked a lot on the field?
I wouldn't say Damo. Right. I wouldn't say Damo. He's more of a leader by example. I think his performance that's where he gets his respect from. But he's also not quiet.
Okay.
But then again, you have to be. It's a bit hard. He's 21 years old, and you're Wilf has been at the club for God knows how long, and you're the captain ahead of him. Wilf is looking at Marc Guéhi as a captain, so it must be a bit hard for him as well, because he doesn't seem like that guy that is out. I think he's very strong and very demanding. But it doesn't seem like that guy that's going to have ego and be like, I'm the captain, I'm this and that. I feel like the reason why Vieira gives him the captaincy is because he has a balance. Because he's not quiet. He has a balance of speaking out in games, but also has a balance of just letting his game do the talking as well. And I think that's what works so well for Marc Guéhi.
Has he been booked this season? I don't think he's been booked.
Yeah, he's been booked. I've seen it.
Yeah. He barely gets dribble pass, and he played a massive role yesterday, T. I think he did in terms of defensive efforts.
Absolutely.
I was getting lucky, but Guéhi tries to keep them at bay, and Anderson, to be fair, as much as they can, alongside with Mitchell.
Oh, and shout out to Stan. Stan had the stat that he's the first player born after the year 2000 to captain a Premier League team.
Yeah,
it's a great stat.
It's wild.
It's
wild.
The one I'm going to come up with in the Everton preview is probably the best one I've ever heard.
What are you like? You did the new stat man. Like, what's going on? What you got all the stats today. Your stats for Vicente, you got the stats for Everton preview. You got the stats for Marc Guéhi.
Guéhi was booked against Wolves, Leeds, United, Man United, and against Southampton. He got 4 yellow cards this year. All before this year. All of them were lost like in 2021. Yeah.
So he hasn't been booked in this calendar year.
He has not been booked the calendar year at all, which is why you don't realize it. Yeah, exactly.
Not booked, but not dribbled past either. Wow.
Just like Mitchell that we spoke about, he's gonna improve, and that's every time I look at these players, I just think like they're this young, and they're this good, and you're going to improve. He is, and I'm just thinking if he's going to improve, right now he's not. He's way above the 18 million pound or 20 million pound that we're going for. How much is this player going to be worth? How good is he going to be? Is he going to be one of the best centre halves in the Premier League? I think he can easily become that player.
I don't think he's far away from it.
I mean, arguably this season he's up there. Like he's up there this season. Arguably, I mean, because we're talking about the fact that right now there isn't an England center back that's playing as well as he is. Not Connor Cody, not Tyrone Mings, not Harry Maguire. John Stones. None of them are playing as good as him.
He will be, man. He will be. There's no way Southgate doesn't include him. There's no way.
I think he's got to pick Mitchell as well, though. He has to.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the
but you know what? Yeah. You know what the thing with Guéhi I like though? He's a left-sided centre half with a right foot who uses both his feet, and that's very, very rare. Because normally, like a Tyrone Mings plays on left side, he's left-footed, but normally left-sided guy is a left-footed player. Guéhi can play on both sides. He's very versatile that way. He can also play at right back, by the way, and left back. He can play fullback. He did that when he was a youth player, so he's very versatile. He has to go to the World Cup just for that alone. Plus the fact he's an excellent player. He won the World Cup under 17s. That he has to go to the World Cup. If he doesn't go, there's a big club bias for sure.
You got to understand as well. I mean, this guy had never played in the Premier League before August. And he's like, okay, maybe it was needs must, but like, they were like, you're starting. He's never missed a game.
Never missed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like,
you're right.
And he's been constantly solid. I mean, obviously, look, he's made the odd mistake here and there. He's been, he was asleep for the Brighton goal, their equaliser. But, mate, he's been brilliant. I think he's, I said it in the group chat yesterday. I'm sure we've all come across a lot of decent players in our time. Some that have obviously made it to higher levels, some that haven't. I don't think I've seen a player like him, especially at the back before. He's so elegant.
And he's so good with the ball at his feet. It's crazy. Yeah.
Both Joachim has improved massively as well. Joachim has massively.
Yeah, he has. But
the conversation around Joachim was when he first joined and when he was first playing is Joachim Andersen. It doesn't matter if he's not a good defender because he's very good on the ball. But recently, Joachim Andersen is a good defender and is still very good on the ball. So both of them complement each other very well, and that's why we're playing like this. As we
honestly, I think Guéhi could play central defensive midfield if you wanted him to.
Mate, I reckon you play him on the wing, he'd probably do a job for you.
I mean,
you just body everyone just go boy.
Exactly, and he's good with distributing the ball. So if he can use both feet. He can spray passes whichever way you want him to. He's an asset back there, man. Truthfully,
I agree totally.
It's good, brilliant signing once again. It goes back down to Dougie and Steve Parish and the rest of the coach and the scouting team that's done a
100%.
fantastic job so far in the summer. Long may it continue.
Yeah.
Should we talk about our biggest game of the season? Is it our biggest game of the season?
It's the biggest game in the last 5 years.
On Sunday.
Most important,
FA Cup
for sure.
Final 90 minutes away from Wembley. Boy, as I said to Patrick as well, this game against City, it was great.
Free hit.
Yeah, but I don't normally do free hits, but it was a free hit.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that phrase the rest of the season, bro.
No. It was.
I hate it.
I will explain it. It was a free hit in terms of City are great and we're not good enough to beat them. It was a free hit in terms of we got a bigger game on Sunday. Me personally, it was a free hit for me. We could have lost against City 2-0. We could have beat them 1-0. We drew against them 0-0. Yeah, that's all great. But the game on Sunday that's a business deal. Like this game, you can move on from it. It's City. The game on Sunday is a big deal. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think we can do it? I'm confident. I am confident that we can go there and get a result. But
we're at home.
How do you guys keep going?
So we haven't got.
It's not like Stan. Go where? We're going to go Sellers. Where are we going in to go there and get a result? We're home.
I'll give you this stat.
Go there into that game, into that match.
I'll give you a stat. Everton have had more players appear in court than they have Premier League wins since September.
Really?
They've had 4 players appear in court, and they've got 3 games since September.
Who's been in court? Seriously, I didn't know that.
Calvert-Lewin,
Decore, and some other Donny.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought that was
now they're saying that Calvert-Lewin.
You know what I'm worried about?
Available for Sunday.
I'm worried that they're gonna beat us. I was confident until you said that stat because you talked about 3 wins. Is that 3 or 4 wins this season? Boy, it'll be so typical of Palace. But
I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet that said they're going to be out without a lot of guys too.
Well, they got.
D, can I ask you a question, D? You know, we keep saying this. I'm not putting. I'm just saying. We keep saying typical Palace, right? Because we can't help ourselves. But this year, what's been typical about Palace?
Nothing.
Right? I mean, think about it.
We're not.
I'm just saying. I'm with you. I've been a fan for a long time. Just thinking about it. I can't think of a typical Palace like incident this season. You know, yesterday was not typical Palace.
The only thing that's been typical is the way some of our fans have acted.
Yes, great point, T. No, you're right. You're right, D. And it's Vieira's got a totally different mindset. He doesn't have that mentality of typical Palace. He's from Arsenal. He's won the World Cup. He's won titles. He's been undefeated in the season. He's captained his country. He's paid for Juventus. He's managed all over, in France, in America. I mean, he got and that mentality you can tell is seeping down to the players. You mentioned yesterday, D, about the coaches. We got a great coach stuff in the background. Christian Wilson, O'Shane Roberts, Sean Derry, and you can tell they deal how they deal with the players. It's a different mindset. So as much as I want to keep saying to myself in the back of my head, it's same old Palace, typical Palace. I haven't felt that this year at all, which is really refreshing, man. It really is. It really is refreshing.
Look, this is I think this is our biggest game for the past 5 years. It is since the cup final. It's our biggest game. I don't think we've had a bigger game. I think there is a bit of typical Palace in there. There always will be a bit of typical Palace. Like these lot are there for the taking, and they go and do us 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever. I am a little bit more confident this time around, though, because I heard what Anderson said after Stoke. He said, the ambition is to get to Wembley. We want to get to Wembley. Hopefully they can bring it home, man. Look, quarterfinal of the FA Cup and a top half / mid-table finish is a superb season for us, given what's going on. Anything on top of this is a massive bonus. Get to a semi, we're going Wembley, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, boy, and then it's anyone's game, right? Let's see. Look, they've got good players. They have got players that can hurt us. Richarlison
definitely.
Ben Godfrey, Allen. I'm trying to think. Decore.
They've got solid players in the team.
Yeah, they've got good players. So we shouldn't underestimate them. And I don't think, I'm seeing on Twitter a little bit of like, we're going to do it and we got this, we got that. It ain't going to be an easy game, man. The one thing I will say is they lose on Thursday. They're in the mire, mate. Like if
they got bigger things to worry about than that cup game on Sunday. They just do. Their survival is much more important. They really have to. And that's my mindset is that I understand all you just said, Stan, but Lampard to me is not a good manager. They are in the mud right now. Mentally, they're in the mud from their fan base. They cannot stand what's going on. They have to survive. They're one of the few teams never going to make it for the Premier League. They're relegated in top flight since like 1950 something. They've been in top flight forever. They cannot go down. That game Sunday is not important to them. It's just not going to be. They're playing away at Selhurst. We're going to have our fans behind us. Vieira's taking it seriously. I'm not saying we're going to run all over Everton, but I would be surprised we don't beat them because I'm just saying that they don't care about that game more than they care about Thursday and the subsequent game. Exactly, pretty much. Yeah,
every game they've got 10 cup finals between now and the end of the season.
Absolutely, absolutely do.
And how I see it is, I'll be honest. I'm sorry if any Everton fans are watching, but I can see them going down. I can see them easily going down. The reason for that is they've got good enough players. They should.
They do.
I think they still have a chance of staying up. Of course they do. But just a mentality. I don't think they've been in this situation, Everton, before. I can't remember Everton being in a situation like this.
They had it one time when Sam Allardyce went there. Remember were doing really poorly. And Allardyce helped them stay up that year. It wasn't like towards the season. Yeah, it was.
You know what happened the last time they were in this situation? 1995. Joe Royle was the manager. They won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They won the FA Cup. Yeah, Paul Rideout scored the winner for them in the final.
We don't want
United, right?
Yeah. I personally feel like Everton, they've got massive chance of going down. And the game on Thursday, forget about the result. It's an advantage in terms of even fatigue. We got 6 days, and we're at home, and they got games. First of all, mental fatigue because you're stressing about the Newcastle game, and then you have to prepare for Sunday, and physical fatigue. I think both of them are going to play into a part. But saying this, Palace should not be as complacent as maybe we're being here and saying it's going to be this and that. It's still football. It's still a football game. 11 versus 11.
I think we need to
up for it. They've got some quality players there, but on our day, we should 100%. We can 100% beat them. And for me, biggest game of the season. See what happens. But T, are you coming down if we win this game?
Oh yeah, yes.
Sure.
I've already chatted it up with the wife about it.
I'm waiting for the final.
You're waiting for the final.
I don't do cup finals. I'll only do the semi-final. I can't come to the cup final again. I'll come for the semi just to enjoy that going to Wembley. I can't do that again. It was too depressing last time. But I'm undefeated in semi-finals, so I'll just fly over for that. I'll be happy to come. Me and my son will come over for that.
I went back and forth about it, man, and I thought to myself, you know what? I could not go to the semis and hold out to try to go to the finals. But if we don't make it, I don't think I can live with myself having missed out on an opportunity to see Palace play in Wembley.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
I've done it, man. I've been.
So yeah, Stan. I fully understand your place with it, but for me, it's like I got to take that opportunity.
Yeah, we're doing a GoFundMe. We're doing a GoFundMe for T to come. Like Stan, you already done it. So we'll allocate to T this time around, and for the final, we'll do it to Stan. That's fair.
So
Patrick.
I'm rich. I'm good, mate.
I think
I'm
the
good. I'm
biggest
rich.
GoFundMe is someone's gonna have to find me a ticket if we get to the final.
I'm rich. I'm good. I'm good.
Have you seen my new driver?
No GoFundMe here, guys. I'm good.
Right now,
money, no issue. I'm good. I can get a ticket.
I need a ticket GoFundMe. Someone's got to hustle me a ticket. That's the problem.
Yeah. Stan, I told you already. We will sort you. Don't worry about the ticket. I'm certain we'll sort you out a ticket. That shouldn't be a worry. Let's just make it there. But to make it there, the 11 players. So what do you expect in terms of that? Who do we want starting? Is there going to be any rotations? Wardy, is it going to come back in for Kleiny, Butland, for Vicente? For me, you don't make them changes. But do you guys think, Vieira might? Is there slight chance? And if there is a chance, how much %?
I don't think so.
I think Butland's going to start in this game.
If I was him, I would.
So there is a change. So Butland starts. How? I don't know if that's the right call, though. I really don't. After the game that Vicente's had, I understand it to a certain extent, but it's difficult. It's a difficult situation for Vieira. What do you think, Patrick?
I think that yesterday was the first time we've gone with the same lineup back to back. It worked. We have back-to-back clean sheets. I think, barring injury, he goes to the same lineup as Wolves and against Man City. Why would you change it? Now, I understand the idea of rotating the squad, resting up players. If there's a knock someone might have, you might rest. But honestly, with Everton coming off their very short rest, us coming off having almost a full week of rest, I wouldn't change it. I get the idea of playing Butland, so Butland started. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset if Ward came back in. I'm being honest, but I'd go with the same exact lineup, honestly, and have guys in, have guys like Ebbs to come on, Edouard to come on, Mack or Hughes to come in. But I would go with the same lineup because I'm telling you right now, Everton are there for the taking. Mina's out. Van der Beek and Ali cannot play. Their defense is in shambles. Go at them from the off.
They also won't have Calvert-Lewin, Davies, or Fabian Delph.
That's what I'm saying. They're injured. They're injured.
Again?
Yeah. So I'm telling you, I would just go with the same lineup and just go for it and then make changes if you have to. But again, honestly, whatever Vieira does, I'm fine with. That's and I'm keeping it 100.
Whatever he does, but I think he will take it seriously, knowing how Vieira is.
Oh no, that's not even a doubt. He'll take it. Yeah, that's not even a doubt. Yeah.
I won't be surprised if there's no changes, but there could be maybe one change. Personally, I'll be honest, I don't want Wardy starting. I'll just say that. I don't want
if I think there's going to be any change at all possible, I think it's the goalkeeper choice. I think that's probably the only one.
I think you've got to play your best team. Like I said, biggest game this season, biggest game in 5 years. Got to play your best team, mate. You've got to play your best team. Who plays at the back for them? Michael Keane, and who's the other Donny that plays there?
Holgate, Mason Holgate.
Michael Keane
with old man Seamus Coleman, and
we got to be on the front foot in this game. We got to run at them. Like, our two wingers need to cause them problems. Godfrey's a good player. I give that to Ben. Godfrey's a very good player. Seamus Coleman, Zaha needs to send him shopping back in the first 15 minutes.
Well, it could be a very nice evening. It could be that.
But it could also be typical Palace. Do you know what I mean? So I think we've got to be realistic.
The potential is there, though. Stan, the way you say it, the potential is there. Like, in theory, this is how it should work. But in football, we all know it doesn't work like that. But one thing that I would like to see, not a starting 11, but the bench. I would like to see the bench be a bit stronger. Hopefully, Hughes is back. Mac might be back. I think that's an area to look out for. Because in this game, Kyoto went down injured a couple of times. But then you're thinking, who on earth is going to come on? Like, who could come on? So
Gyro was the only option. Gyro or Ebbs, right? Was the only option.
Ebbs yesterday.
So I think the bench could be improved. If the bench is improved, then I think we're all right as it is. 1 or 2 changes wouldn't hurt us, but with goalkeeper, maybe you can put Jack Bartlett there. I wouldn't make too many changes. But talking about changes, we talked about changes. We talked about how big of a game this is. Let's go to the business end.
What's that? Hold on, T. What was you going to say?
I was going to say one thing that we should pay attention to. Last match against Wolves, they played 3 at the back.
Yeah, they did.
Godfrey, Holgate, and Kenny were at the back. Michael Keane didn't even start.
Kenny got a red card.
Game, to be fair, apart from scoring the goal.
Oh, he did get a red card.
Yeah, Kenny
got a red card last game. Yeah. He can't play. He can't play Thursday. I guess the FA's rules. He can play in the FA Cup, but he can't play Thursday. So I'm saying they're in the mud, man. They're in the mud. So they're in big trouble.
Are we going to come out? What about us? So what about our score predictions? Let's move on to that, the last bit. But how do we see this going? We bigged up our team. We said that we're going to do this and that. We're all right. They're in the mud. How do we actually see this one going? Is it going to be a tight game, even though they're in the mud? Or do you guys see Palace being comfortable in terms of the victory? Well, if you predict the victory, which hopefully all of us do, especially, I expect all Team Red to do. Stan, hopefully you join us one day as well in terms of Team Red. What do we expect? What do we expect?
That don't look good on me, bro.
So let's start with Team Blue. Team Blue, what do you expect from the score prediction in this game?
Team Blue.
Let's see how the Blue. Let's see how the Blue.
I'm going 2-0 Palace.
2-0 Palace. Oh, that's
Zaha
good.
And
Marc Guéhi. Okay. Fair enough. Send in your score predictions. We'll be reading them out before we end the show. All right, Team Red, don't disappoint me. Come on. Let's start off. Go on, Patrick.
All right. Like Sean, 4-0 Palace.
Whew.
Zaha, Guéhi, Olise, and Édouard.
I like that. All right.
No, I thought you were going to get someone's going to bang a hat in.
No. 4-0. So 4-0. Their defense is terrible. But make sure you clip that because it's going to be 4-0. Not trying to hear anything less.
Don't clip it because clip it after the result. You can always come back and clip it after. Let's just let the result happen. Then afterwards we can clip it.
53
I don't want to
minutes.
Anything right now. Say 4-0, we lose like 3.
But I'll take a 1-0. Just saying. I'll take.
You've been in deep 4. It's score predictions, man. It's all right, man. You don't have to. It's not like if you get it wrong, like it's all done. It's fine. It's score prediction. How do you see it going?
I'm gonna go 3-1 Palace.
3-1.
Like the first match.
3-1 Palace. I think we'll see Gallagher, Olise, and Ebbs is going to get his first goal.
Ooh,
late goal.
I like that shout.
We'll be 2-1, and he'll add one late to announce his return.
What game was it that we predicted score prediction? We're going to absolutely destroy them when we didn't. Was it Stoke? No, it was like 4 or 5-0, and we only beat them like 1 or 2-0. I think it's going to be that type of game. Everton
it might have been the Stoke game.
I think we're going to be solid defensively. Realistically, I'm joining Team Blue. I'm sorry, Reds. I'm going over to that side. 2-0. I'm with you, Stan. I think it's going to be.
You said you said don't disappoint you, and then you went
exactly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Seriously.
No. I'm joining Team Blue to make it fair. I'm not gonna say 2-0. I'm gonna say 2-1. I think that is a bit more realistic. I'm gonna say 2-1. I think we win the game. Maybe a sloppy set piece goal that could cost us. That's how they score. But apart from that, I think we're gonna win. We are gonna win. I don't think it goes to extra time. 2-1 Palace, and we're gonna be going to Wembley, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I think is gonna happen.
We could be on this show next week.
Half. Oh, 3 in the
this
first
show
half.
could be electric next week, or it could be the most miserable show that you've seen in a long time. So it all depends on the schedule.
Keep the faith. You know what? I like Oliver's comment. He goes, "Don't want to jinx anything." What do you put here? Don't want to jinx anything.
2-0 Palace.
Right, and then he goes to me, Patrick jinxed it. How am I jinxing it? You picked a win too. I just went 4-2. I said, okay, 4-2. I mean, we're still gonna win. How am I jinxing it?
He said, and D is now jinxing.
You think you predicted the same?
Exactly. Where's the logic in this? Where's the logic? I don't understand.
D jinxed it because he jumped ship. That's
okay. That I understand. Okay.
So let's go through score predictions. We'll go to Oliver's score prediction. Ronnie says 2-0. Jay says 2-1 Palace. Louis says 2-0.
Jinx.
Jinx.
5-0
Palace. You see, that's a jinx. Jinx. Neil says 2-1 hopefully. See, Neil's with me. He's being realistic. Seek is saying 4-0. The boys are going to take
Jinx.
3-0.
Oh, wait till see this next one. The 6 said 3 in the first half.
My 2-1 is a jinx. I don't know how that works, but
right. No worries.
Right up Man City wave. 3-0 Palace. Extra time says Peter. Interesting. 3 in the first half. Jeez.
I like that. I like that.
But that's what he also said 4-0.
You're too confident for my liking. You're more confident than me, Oliver. You said 2-0. I said we're going to concede a goal.
Right, exactly.
How does that even work? But look. No matter
new
what
Palace,
happens,
new mindset.
No matter what happens, I want to say one thing. No matter what happens, just like the Celtic game, as long as we go through to the next round,
exactly.
It could be 0-0. We win on pins, man. I don't care. Let's get
survive and advance. That's
exactly.
That's what we care about right now.
So we'll see what happens. That's it from us today. We talked about the City game. We talked about the Everton game. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here to not miss out on future content. We'll be here on Sunday for the live match reaction. So we'll have that
Sunday?
next Tuesday. Hopefully, talking about our trip to potentially Wembley. We'll see what happens, but that's it from us today.
I'll be taking donations.
Hopefully we'll be rising up the funds.
GoFundMe page gonna go live on Tuesday.
Exactly. Hopefully, yeah. On Tuesday, everyone bring out your pockets.
Sunday night if we win it.
Exactly.
During the live match reaction show.
Exactly. It might be a fundraiser. Depending on
the link in the chat.
Exactly. Members only. If you don't donate, you're not allowed to watch stream. For tea.
Only fans.
Only fans for tea. We're getting carried away. Only fans for tea. I don't know how that will work, but look, that's it from us today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button. Until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.